A lot of our viewers are quite confused about what kind of trekking shoe or how to buy a really good hiking or trekking shoe. Can you give us a few guidelines?
Sure. See, Jyotsna, there's a lot of confusion about what's the right trekking shoe to buy. So what I will do is I will just list 3 points which you have to keep in mind when you're buying a trekking shoe, and I think that can take care of buying any good trekking shoe. First thing a hiker needs to look for is this. For example, this, if you take as a sample as a trekking shoe, we look for these grooves. Now, the deeper the grooves, the better is the trekking shoe. As you can see, a lot of mud has gone inside this trekking shoe, which means it is gripping well, which means this trekking shoe is gripping the surface very well. So you need these grooves to give you the grip on snow, on wet mud. As you can see behind the terrain behind us, there's a lot of snow. So you need a shoe which can grip and which can take you safely on these paths. So a good trekking shoe needs to grip well. So deeper these grooves, the better it is. Now, many shoes in the market comes with deep grooves. They are more of a marketing thing. They are more of a gimmick than their actual good grooves. Now, how do you make out whether the grooves in your shoe are ideal for trekking? It's a very simple thing. Take a keychain or something like this and give it a poke. Look at the sound it makes. It needs to make a soft sound. If it does not make a soft sound, then it's not a good shoe. Some shoe will make a very hard sound when you do this. It needs to make a soft sound. And sometimes if you kind of give it a little this thing, it needs to make a dent. If it doesn't do that, then it's not the shoe meant for you. It's not. You need a shoe which is slightly soft, which can grip the surface as you go along. A hard shoe doesn't do that. So you need a shoe which gives this soft kind of sound when you poke with something hard. So that's criteria number 1. Criteria number 2 is look for ankle support. Now on terrains like this, which is very uneven and you have snow at inclination of almost 20 to 30 degrees, you need your ankles are sometimes going to bend like this. Your ankle, instead of being straight, is going to bend like this. You need a shoe which can support you. So an ankle support is very, very important. So look for shoes. Now sometimes ladies in a country don't get shoes which give ankle support. You need to hunt for them. You do get shoes in some brands, which I will talk about later. But what's more important is look for ankle support. Ankle support is almost a mandatory thing in a good hiking shoe. This is the second point. The third point you got to keep in mind is whether the shoe protects you from weather. By weather, I mean even rain, I mean snow, I mean mud, I mean slush. So a shoe which is generally has a good leather covering like this, or some artificial covering like this, and not a porous covering, is very good. For example, you can walk with this shoe for about many kilometers on snow without getting wet. So you need a shoe which will cover you from the elements. Now, even the shoe that I'm wearing will cover you from the elements. So what's important is buy a shoe which covers you from the element. Canvas shoe, especially people tend to buy hunter shoes or people tend to buy tennis shoes, will not work in these kind of a situation. They will get wet very soon, and then the trek is as good as over even before it has started. So buy shoes which cover these 3 points. So these are my 3 points, Jyotsna.
Which brands would you recommend, Arjun?
This is a very difficult question because there are many good hiking shoes now. The only issue is that hiking shoes are a bit expensive in a country. They start from 2,500 rupees they go up to even 6,000, 7,000 rupees. So for someone who is just getting into trekking or hiking, it's a bit of an expense. But I would say that it's worth the expense because we don't look at it as an expense but look at it as an investment in a good shoe which can take you through many hikes, maybe 5, maybe 6 treks in the Himalayas in these kind of conditions. So Woodlands makes some decent shoes. You have Quaker who have some decent shoes. You have High Tech which has decent shoes, and you can buy shoes online from Big Shoe Bazaar, or you can buy from Bata.in, or you can buy from Decathlon.co.in. So just go to these websites. You can tend to buy these shoes. So a lot of these options available. You can go to some good shoe shop and look for these three qualities. They may not even be branded. It doesn't matter whether they're branded or unbranded. You may even get a shoe for 1,000 rupees. It doesn't matter. Just look for these three criteria: deep grooves, softness, ankle support. That's more than enough. We have bought shoes for less than 1,000 rupees of which meet this same criteria. So just be sensible about buying your shoes. You really need not go for any brand.